Okay, kids, Ham and Cheese back here with you again today. And for today's video, this is going to be the Ham and Cheese Cheap and Easy Holiday Gift Guide for the radio operator in your life for the 2025 holiday season. Everything that we're going to show you on today's video, for the most part, will be about $25 or less, and will be different accessories and items for that radio operator that you might be having a little bit of trouble buying for this holiday season, or you just want to add on something simple like a stocking stuffer, or just let them know that you really gave them some thought on trying to find them something they might like. Alright, let's go ahead and dive into this. And the first item we're going to look at today is the 51-piece ratchet power pull crimping kit. Now, this is the exact same crimp tool that I use, and what this is for is making what's known as Anderson power pull connections. That's these little guys that you see right here. These are what we use to make electronics connections in radio, and they're a universal connection. We use them from our power supply to our radio. We can use them on what's known as a distribution block, and we can use them on several other items as well. These are also used to provide power input to things like solar power packs and things of that nature as well. And they're used widely across the radio community. Now at $34.99, this is an outstanding buy because this piece right here alone, this is a $32 item on its own, and you're getting this extra packaging with it as well. And like I said, makes a great gift, and this is something that every radio operator can use. The next item we have up is, this is what's known as the Right in the Rain weatherproof hardcover notebook. What this thing does is it provides you with waterproof pages. So if you're out in the field, like if your operator is a Parks on the Air guy, does QRP in the field, winter field day, things like that, this is an extremely useful item to have. This will allow them to take notes while they're in the field. They can keep their logs, and it's something that's not going to get destroyed. It's an all-weather journal, and you can see right here from the pages, these are actual waterproof pages, and they work very well. I've used these for years myself in public safety. They have notepads, little flipbook notepad versions, and when you're out in a rainstorm trying to take notes or something, you've left your phone in the car or the truck, this makes a huge difference to have something like this. At $23.95, it makes an outstanding buy, and you can use both pencil and pen on these, and they work just the same. Alright, this next item up here, this is what's known as the Gear Keeper. And what these are designed for is these are retractable holders for microphones. Guys can use these to put on a backpack. They can use them to have a mobile mount in their vehicle for the mobile radio. The CBers like these. They hang them off the mirrors in their trucks. The pickup guys, the over-the-road guys will use these as well. And what's nice about it is it just keeps it in one place where you can put it somewhere that makes it easier to reach. And with that retractable lanyard on there, it's real easy to access. And you can even remove it as well if you want to just have it there hanging loose, along with the D-ring. At $21.99, he's making an outstanding buy. And they're not just for microphones. You can use these to tie off walking sticks. You can do all kinds of stuff with these. And this is the standard version. If you wanted the heavy duty version, you can go a little bit heavier on it at $26.49. And it just is a little bit more sturdy of a pack. That's all the difference is. But even the standard version works very well and holds up very nicely. Okay, next item we have up here, this is an external speaker. And these are extremely useful when you're in the field, or if you're in a mobile vehicle setting or something like that. This allows you to take the speaker away from the radio itself and put it somewhere close so that you can hear it better. Now this is a 5-watt version. They go up to 20 watts, but these 5-watt versions are very nice, and they're very small and compact, not much bigger than the size of a smartphone. And they're just an outstanding little add-on feature for somebody who needs to get that close. If your guy's a day trucker or something like that, he can mount this right beside himself on in the seat there, and he'll be able to hear his radio just the same as well. Or the girl that's in your life as well. We don't discriminate here on the Ham and Cheese channel. Now, real quick, before we move on, I will tell you the links are in the description for everything here. And our links are Amazon affiliate links, and we do get a little bit of commission off of things, so keep that in mind as well if you do purchase through us. Doesn't cost you anything extra, but we get a nice little cut and it helps us keep this channel going. Alright, this next item up here, these are what's known as an SO239 barrel connector, and these are quintessential to any operator. These are what we use to connect from one cable to another to run longer lengths in the field, to add on cable where we need just a little bit of extra length, things like that. And these are something we can never have enough of. I probably have 30 of these in various bags and other things like that, and I still don't have enough of them. These are a really nice little simple item. They're only about 2 inches or so in length, and they provide that little extra set where you need it. Now this 6-pack at $9.99 is a great little pack, and these are nice. These are gold plated in the center. They're made out of brass, copper, things like that, and they're not going to leak out, and they're great for a temporary setup where you just need to run that little bit extra long. Okay, next item we're going to look at, this is the TID Radio Wireless Programmer, and this is for things like Bofeng radios, Retevis radios. TID Radio makes their own radios, and there's a whole slew of others out there. What's nice about this is a wireless programmer that uses Bluetooth technology through phones and tablets to program radios on the fly or in the field, or maybe where you don't have access to a computer. These are extremely useful to amateur radio operators and GMRS operators alike, because those particular radios, these Bofengs, these Retevises, you can't program alphanumeric characters into them to save channels. So that's what these allow us to do, is we can program those with labels that we want so that we know exactly what we're using. Uses a simple USB-C connection for power to charge it. It is battery operated. It has a power switch right there, as you can see, and it runs off of these standard 2-pin models, which are what most of these radios and a whole bunch more are over here. At $13.99, this is an awesome buy for somebody who's getting started in amateur radio or GMRS who wants to learn how to program their radio. Next item we have up here, this is the USLO SMA male to UHF female, or what we know as an SO239 female connector coax cable. This is a useful item for moving from things like antenna analyzers to antennas themselves, and this allows us to make the changeover so that we can see what our antenna is doing in the way of modeling. We can check SWR ranges, we can check all kinds of things with things like this. And what's nice is this is a cable that already has the SMA connection going to the SO239 connection. Now it also features the SMA barrel connector and the SO239 SMA changeover as well, which is a nice little added feature on this particular set. Now what's also nice about this is the 3-foot's only $9.99, so we can go all the way up to a 10-foot for $14, and it's still a relatively cheap and easy, just like me, option to put in for somebody who needs that little extra length to get from their analyzer to whatever it is they're trying to work on. Next item up, this is the Nagoya NA320A tri-band HT antenna. And this antenna is designed for things like Bofengs, Retevises, TID Radio, Radioddity, and other radios of that nature. This particular antenna is useful for 2 meter, which is 144 megahertz in amateur radio, 220, which is the 1.25 megahertz band of amateur radio, and 440, which is the 70 centimeter band of amateur radio. And this comes to us from a group called Nagoya. They're in Japan. They make an outstanding little product, and these are just a great add-on to upgrade from a basic radio and turn it into a decent radio. Folks will use these if they were sitting in the house, maybe you can't get outside in the winter, or maybe you just need that little bit extra oomph to get to the local repeater. This is how you do it. At $20.98, fantastic buy. This next item we have up, This is the HF, VHF, UHF operating guide brought to us by the folks at Nifty. And what these folks do is they provide manuals and they provide other items that help us to simplify what we do in radio. The Nifty guides, they make them for various models of radios, especially the new digital radios that come out, and they take a 300-page operating manual and turn it into about a 9-page and make it very simple. What this particular one does is this gives us places in the bands where we can find RTTY activity, PSK31, CW, single sideband, and so much more. These are useful when you're trying to find calling frequencies during contests. You may be looking for areas that you can work in the band for digital modes and things of that nature. You pair this out in the field with somebody who's on the fly, may not have a computer close at hand, or just somebody that wants a nice little add-on on the desk to keep nice and close. This is a great way to do it. At $17.95, it's an outstanding buy. Alright, we're going to take a look at a couple radios now. And this first one is the Baofeng UV5R. The UV5R is the most recognized radio in amateur radio when it comes to a starter item. This would be a radio that you would purchase for somebody that maybe needs an extra radio in their bag, maybe wants to add on some more radios to the cache, that sort of thing, or wants to have something to hand out, like if your guy or gal is a Aries EC or an ACS chief and they want to give something to those new guys or give something to somebody that they're not worried about getting back or breaking, this is what you give them. These are used for local communications, for repeaters, radio to radio for just within a 3 to 5 mile range, and various other things as well. The very simple setups come with a nice desktop charger. They'll have this earpiece, and most of the radios are very simple. This one's a little bit nicer version. It has the nice aluminum face front, and it is a dual band model, meaning that it will do both 2 meter and 70 centimeter. Now, if you want to stick with something simple, you can go with this guy, which is just a very simple version of the UV5R. And either version you go with is still under $20, and it's an outstanding little buy. And like I said, these are also great for those who are just getting started, or maybe somebody who's showing an interest in amateur radio. This would be a good way to get them into it as well. Alright, this next one that we have up here, this is the Baofeng 5RM, and this is a little bit more of an upgraded version from the UV5R. Some of the items that this one features is it features a little bit bigger battery, 2500 milliamp, and it also features a USB-C port for charging the battery, meaning you do not have to have a desktop charger. You can use any USB-C cable to charge this on the go. It also features an AM aircraft receiver in it, so if you're into watching the planes fly in and out or something like that, listening to local air traffic control, they can do it with this radio. And this is also a tri-band radio, meaning that it does 2 meter, what we call 220 or the 1.25 meter band, and the 70 centimeter band as well. And something else that's a little bit nicer with this one is, it's just a nice little add-on, and you can see some of the options here. And they consider this a 10 watt model, but in reality, from 5 watts to 10 watts makes really no much of a difference. It's just a little bit more upgraded, and it provides that little bit nicer screen as well. And at $18.59, it's an outstanding buy for somebody getting started out as well. In fact, I may pick one of those up myself. And then we're going to look at this one here. Now, this is the Retevis RA79. This is a radio that's more along the lines of the UV5R as well. It just comes from a different group called Retevis. One of the things that makes it stand out is it has a little bit bigger option for volume control with the knob there, as you can see. But one of the big standouts on this one is this comes with a programming cable. And the reason why we talk about programming on these radios so much is it's extremely useful to us to help us go through. Like we said it earlier, they're very hard to program from the radio itself. So having these things are a huge benefit to the operator. Now, having the programming cable, this allows us to connect to the radio or from the radio to a computer directly. And then we would use a program called Chirp to program this. It's a free program widely available. It's created by an amateur radio operator. And we can use these cables as well to do both amateur radio and GMRS. So at $19.64, outstanding buy. And the last radio we're going to look at here today that we do not have up here is going to be the Baofeng UV5G. And the UV5G is a GMRS version of the UV5R. You can see here there's a lot of different versions of this one as well. And you can get these in singles. In fact, here's one right here. At $20.29, you can see they're still relatively inexpensive. And this is a great way for GMRS operators to get started in the field as well. And you can see they're very similar to the UV5R. Same style design, same everything. And they come with the simple setups as well. And you can use those programming cables on these as well. So we can see here it uses and employs the same exact technology. Alright, so there you have it. A number of items to help you maybe get a little bit more going in your search for that final gift, last minute gift. Or if you're just having trouble buying for that radio operator in your life. I hope these can help you get where you need to be. If you liked what you saw here, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know. And we'll do better, and we're going to keep getting better as we go on. So with that, I will say 7-3 to you. Thanks for taking a look. I hope you found something that helps you out. And remember, as you go through this holiday season, keep it cheap and easy, just like me. Alright, thanks for watching.